time on Roots FM 96.1. It's now 104 here on Roots 96.1 FM. It's now time for Haphazard News Idiot Thing feature here on your number one community radio station. This afternoon, we'll be having a conversation with Wilfred Rattigan. He is a Jamaican, also a former Federal Bureau of Investigation FBI agent, now a attorney at law, and he filed a lawsuit in the Supreme Court, regarding the donation there when our Foreign Affairs Minister, Camille Johnson Smith, she was making bid for the Secretary General of the Commonwealth. And so yesterday there was a report in the papers regarding, this lawsuit, and in her, to some extent, response to this lawsuit, she's saying that Mr. Rattigan has no grounds for making this lawsuit. We want to welcome Mr. Rattigan this afternoon, and we want to, gauge his response to this statement in this report regarding his stance, and based on the evidence that he presented to us some weeks ago, I can say that it seems as if he has a very, very good ground. So welcome to to Haphazard News, Sir Rattigan.
Yes, good afternoon.
Well, we have about two devices on, so it's echoing. Let me see which one we'll be muting right now. So what's giving us? Go ahead. All right, seems as if I muted the wrong one. So all right. So go ahead and unmute just one of the devices.
Yes, can you hear me?
It's kind of giving us a feedback. Yeah. Right, so we're gonna get the audio. I think because you have two devices on. Yeah. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Great. Hearing you great now.
Okay, outstanding.
Yeah, go ahead. Right.
Yeah.
So as I was mentioning in the intro, to the conversation, what is your response to what was mentioned in that report there yesterday?
Well, you mean the report or the minister's?
The minister's, the
affidavit?
minister's statement, yeah.
Yeah, her affidavit, I have it right here. Her affidavit has it has a lot of defenses, but they're, as we would have said in Jamaica, a weak fence. Them are not defense, a weak fence. Them are. Let me start out with one that's just patently false. She started out she didn't start out. It's at the end of it's on page 3 of the allegation, where she said that all of the issues I raised in my complaint, that they were addressed in Parliament. Now, we know that's not true. In fact, that's a lie. That's a blatant lie, because the only person, to the best of my recollection, who addressed this in Parliament was the Minister of Information, Robert Morgan. And he was questioned by Julian Robinson, and he was also questioned by the leader of the opposition, Mark Golding, regarding the names of the people who funded who funded her campaign on the private side. And he gave 3 names: Mosan Group of Companies, Grace Kennedy, and Keith Duncan. And then when he was pressed as to others, he said, no, I suspect they don't want their names to be known. Then he was asked about how much money did they contribute. He wouldn't say. They never addressed the issue as to whether or not she received this gift and whether she filed. So when she said all of the issues that I raised have been addressed in Parliament, that's a blatant lie.
Wow. Go
Then
ahead.
The other thing she mentioned was that they mentioned that I needed leave of court to file this action. And what it tells me is that they're just either they're incompetent, or attorneys are incompetent, they're buying time, or I don't know what would spur them to say this, because there's a difference between filing for an administrative order and for judicial review. For judicial review, which is 56.3 under the Civil Procedure Act, you need leave of court. For administrative order under 56.9, you don't. So, and I filed for an administrative order. So when they're saying I needed leave of court, that's nonsense. Maybe because they think that I don't practice law in Jamaica, then I wouldn't know the rules. But I have a lawyer in Jamaica, so, and I also.
But that's what I'm saying. You are a legal minded person. You are there in the practice right now, right? and
Right.
they're saying that you have no, and it just bubbles my mind to say how it is that they're telling a lawyer this that
Yes.
yeah.
It's nonsense. Then another issue that she raised was that the issues that I raised regarding her filing, uh, as per the regulations and the laws, she said that's an issue of foreign affairs. I don't know what kind of foreign affairs you're talking about. I don't know. But again, this is rubbish, right? But they have to put something inside, put something out there. Then they also said I didn't exhaust my administrative remedies, meaning that I didn't follow all the necessary steps before coming to court, which is nonsense because I filed under the Access to Information Act. I even asked for the Integrity Commission and the tax administrator. I asked them to initiate investigations against her because I didn't believe that she filed. There's nothing else I could do. So again, another another foolish defense. Then what's interesting is that she said on April 1st that on or about April 1st, the Jamaican government approved her as the candidate to represent Jamaica, and that they approved the expenditures associated with the campaign. Couple of things with that. One is, if you're going to give a gift to the Jamaican government and the gift is considered significant to the Jamaican government, it must be approved by the cabinet. She didn't say that here. She said she was approved as a candidate and that the expenditures provided by the government, those were approved. But you didn't talk about the private expenditures. And guess what? According to the law and the rules, the private expenditures, if it's significant to the Jamaican government, it must be approved by the cabinet. So we don't think that was the case. No, she referred to herself in she used the pronoun me. She said that the Jamaican cabinet approved me, right,
Yeah.
as the candidate. Then in the next paragraph, she said that the third parties who sponsored who put up the $99,000, they did it in support of a Jamaican sponsored activity, a Jamaican government sponsored activity. She didn't say they put it in support of me, right? She said a Jamaican government sponsored activity. Whereas the paragraph before, she said, oh, they appointed me as that person. But now all of a sudden it went from me to an activity. You see where we're going with this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Then she
Some
said,
confusion.
then she said that the monies that the third parties paid, that at no time did she receive a gift in her personal or official capacity. Now that's astounding. That's astounding. But here is something that's even more astounding. The next paragraph, paragraph 9, she says, I, personal pronoun, derived no benefit from either the funds expended by the Jamaican government or from the private sector. It was the Jamaican government that derived the benefit of consultancy services towards its campaign, not her campaign.
So yeah, it's moving.
Towards
Yeah,
its
yeah, yeah.
campaign, to the
So it's
Jamaican
moving two
campaign.
different ways.
Yeah, to have me, its candidate, elected as a Commonwealth Secretary General. No, couple of things. They're saying let's take her argument. Let's take her at face value that it was a Jamaican government. All right. No, we're not talking about the money that the Jamaican government, the $18.2 million that they approved for her, right? Leave that aside. Let's talk about the 15 million from the private groups, right? If in Jamaica, if you're going to give a gift to the government of Jamaica, it has to go through the Ministry of Finance. Then there has to be a due diligence done. Then it has to be approved by the cabinet. Then you have to do a gift form saying who gave you the money, how much they gave you, who are these people, and that has to be signed off by 2 people. Then it has to be put into the expenditure. It has to be put into the budget and accounted for. All of those things must happen if you're giving a gift to the government. What did these gentlemen, what did these companies and individuals do? They didn't give the money to the Minister of Finance. They went around the rules and paid the money to Fin Partners. So it is not a gift to the government. It is a gift to an individual. And they ought to know better, because if these people are, business people, they give gifts all the time, but they know the rules, right? And let's say that they didn't even know the rules. Let's say they didn't know the rules. So now the minister is sitting in her office and she gets a call from Fin Partners saying, hey, we want to give you some consultancy services. What's the first question you would ask? The first question you ask is, who are you? Why are you giving me this? Who's paying for this?
Yeah.
And based on the law, they said they attribute knowledge to you. They said these provisions you must know as the government head or the minister or the head of the department. You must know that you cannot take gifts from outside sources like this. It has to go through the government and then it has to be filed. So that is exactly what happened. So it was no gift to any government, right? And then what she tries to do, she tries to parse language. She tries to make a distinction between a gift and a benefit. But guess what? The law doesn't make that distinction. The law says gift. It doesn't talk about benefit,
Right,
right?
right. Whether it's
But
a gift or not. Go ahead.
yeah, but let's go with gift.
Uh huh.
Let's go with benefit now. Let's go with benefit. She's saying I derive no benefit. Okay. So who was going to be, if she were elected, who was going to occupy that Mayfair mansion, that mansion in Mayfair? Was it the government of Jamaica or was it the minister? And by then she wouldn't have been minister, she would have to resign. So it would have to be Kamina Johnson Smith. Who was going to get that $200,000 plus salary? Was it the government of Jamaica or was it Kamina Johnson Smith? Who was it who got the consultancy services, right? Was it the prime minister? Was it the minister of health? Was it the minister of education? Was it the minister of national security? Was it the minister of local government? Who? It was the minister of foreign affairs and
Yeah,
foreign
but
trade.
maybe her defense in that case would be then she never get any money. She never really took the money. So I
Okay.
think probably in her um definition then I'm just probably saying per
Yes.
se probably her definition of benefit would be then she never get any money out of it.
Okay,
Essentially, she
good.
got some
Glad you
service.
raised that point,
Yeah,
and so that people can understand.
yeah,
In section 9 of the Finance Administrative and Audit Act, the Jamaican law, it says section 9.3 is entitled Guidelines for the Acceptance of Gifts, right? Now let's go to section 9.4 talks about donation of money, right? Section 9.5 talks about donation in kind. And in kind, it has donation in kind may be classified as follows: skilled labor, special skills, consultant services. That's exactly what she got. So it doesn't have to be money. It can be in kind. And the
right,
statute
right,
clearly says that. So
exactly.
she got this. So if we're talking, so the benefit part of it, we know that when she's talking about the Jamaica benefited, here's another thing. If she had been elected, she could not have given Jamaica more than Jamaica would have been entitled to from the Commonwealth, because otherwise it would be controversial. It
Yeah,
could even be
yeah,
classified as corruption if she get inside and she start giving benefits to Jamaica more than what Jamaica was entitled to. So the theory is this: whoever sat in that chair as Secretary General would have given Jamaica exactly what Jamaica was entitled to get. And remember, she wasn't going there to serve Jamaica. She was going there to overlook
the entire
55
Commonwealth.
countries.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, 55 countries. So she couldn't go there and say, well, you know what, I'm from Jamaica, so I'm going to give Jamaica more than the other countries deserve. So that's nonsense. So the only benefit Jamaica would have gotten from this was to say, oh, when I with around the Commonwealth, a Jamaican national city there. That's the only benefit. Only
Wow.
benefit. There's nothing tangible Jamaica would have gotten out
Yes.
of this. So she was the one who got it. And then she kept saying, it's my campaign. I'm doing this in the campaign. And even after she lost, Minister Morgan said, Kamina ran a good campaign and we're very proud of her, right? And even with her own interviews, she talks about the campaign, and she talks about the campaign in as if to say, well, it's my campaign. It's about me. I'm the one running the campaign. The only thing is that she's from Jamaica. Oh, here's what happened. She's saying the government got the benefit, right? Minister Morgan in August of last year did an interview on Nationwide, and he tried to distance the government from this thing. He said, no, no, no. In fact, you know what? Let me read you something that he said, which I know you're going to. Oh, here it is. Minister Morgan said on Nationwide on August 7th of last year, he said, I don't know the fullness of the arrangement. The public declaration says Finn Partners was engaged to provide PR support for Minister Johnson Smith in her campaign for Commonwealth Secretary General. He didn't say we were doing it for the Jamaican government campaign. So she's saying that it's the government. He's saying it's not the government. And Finn Partners is saying it's Kamina Johnson Smith. So you can believe who you want to believe, whether you want to believe Kamina Johnson Smith or you want to believe Minister Morgan, or you want to believe Finn Partners. Now, Finn Partners made their submission to the Jamaican government under the penalty of perjury. So if you're telling me that Finn Partners lied, then that's fine. I will take that up with the U.S. government and Finn Partners.
Yeah.
But we have to believe that Finn Partners is not lying.
So Rattigan, yes. we have, this requires a much longer time, when it comes out to the discussion and delving in because we have such a limited time right now, just about 20 minutes, right? Okay. And so, we're grateful for, the explanation and delving into this issue because we need to know exactly what will happen. So the date for the court hearing, just touch on that a little before as we wrap up, because we have some other topics we want to delve into.
The court hearing is set for
right.
October.
Yeah?
Yes.
All right. And what's your expectation going into that? So you're, for that date.
Oh, we fully expect that the wheels of justice will turn in our direction and that we will prevail on the issues. But let me just add something to your listening audience.
Yeah.
While this is hanging over the minister's head, there's another lawsuit that's going to be filed before the end of this month. And it concerns some of these same issues, but it's a different, it concerns the same event, but it's a different issue. So she should start making preparations for that one. And if you think my lawsuit was cogent, was tight, was well packaged, this one is even better than mine.
Oh my. All right, looking forward to that one. You hear that one? Well, thank you so much, Sir Rattigan.
You're welcome, my brother, anytime.
Yeah, bless you. Wow, wow. You hear that one? Something that's coming up, guys. I'm telling you, another lawsuit coming up. I'm telling you. Why? It's not. I think. What's his name? I'm trying to remember his name. He set a precedence. And following his lawsuit with the police commissioner, that we see this other lawsuit now coming from Sir Rattigan, and there will be another one coming up. We don't know who this one is from, and also, and it's to some extent, as he's saying, related to this incident. Also, so guys, looking forward to that. Dudley?
Really haphazard. When I heard this, is one thing that comes to my mind. If Minister Kamala Johnson is clean up the whole thing, what she should do, and just call the end to the whole thing, just call a press conference and show that she has complied with the law in all aspects, and it will be the end. If she can call a press conference and see it, I campaigned for the Common Secretary position. I lost, and everything was above board. These are documents. Everything was come to Minister of Finance and show all our paperwork. There's a press conference like what Shaggy did with the Bustamante. Shaggy with the whole Bustamante money issue. Yeah. He called a press conference. He have in big screen TV, PowerPoint, and he showed that the money is in the account, much money was there, where the money was deposited, and everything was above board. It's simple, no? So he put all into all speculation, everything. And all the paper carrier thing about we raise the money. And he called the press conference and clear his name.
Immediately.
Everything that's done. Camilla need to do the same thing. Just call a press conference and show that she did everything was above board. And put the end. If she can't do that, it don't look as if she's actually guilty. Just call a press conference and just show you the documentation that everything was above board. It's simple as that. Just simple as that. So why it just simple as that. If she can't do that, that means something wrong. It means something wrong.
Yeah, well, she made a statement in with the press.
Say what?
And
Say what? A statement that saying what? She is above board?
No, that the lawsuit brought against Sir Rattigan It's baseless or
No,
you
that
know, or has no ground or never
anybody
go
can tell
through
what
any stuff like that.
what you need to do
Right.
is call a press conference with all our documents and show chat everything was done above board. That's Arch must do.
She probably not do that yet, don't they?
That Arch must do. Everything just squash. Like what Shaggy did with the Bustamante funds thing.
Carry PowerPoint.
Can put up a presentation show everything where the money was and everything with detail all the money was called, all the money spent on the bank, where the money is and the check, everything detail. And put a doubt, all the doubt was a squash at that press conference. She needs to do the exact same thing, quash all doubts. It's simple enough.
Well,
If she
to
can't do
some
that, so
extent,
eh?
to some extent she's trying to do that.
she's not trying.
But
She's
it
no, she's not
really
trying.
gaslight more.
She's not doing that. She's going to say the lawsuit have no grounds and no basis, but she's not proving that she did everything was above board.
Yeah. I think probably on the court date.
Carry our documents.
On the court date.
No, by the court. If I go to court, just carry documents. I should say everything is above board. Nothing went wrong. That's simple. That's all she needs to do. Carry that documents. I should say, when she got the gift from that, it comes to the Minister of Finance, and you're aware, and she paid the taxes. Just show everything. That's all.
We shall see.
That's all. What do you know? And everything quash. Don't need to go to court.
Well,
Everything
as I said, the court date when the matter is heard, and all arguments are put forward, and
Everything forward.
when the argument put forward and they just look at it now, then we see
Who wrong and who right.
Yeah. It's so we are the what they call it now. They call us the public opinion court. That's how it go.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the public opinion court may not give the right verdict. You know, so until the judge now see and get all arguments and documentation.
Well,
then
if I was in her situation now, and I've been accused of that, I would just call a press conference and just show all the documents.
no, she can't. Do that. She'll wait
Lord
on the
Jesus,
court
brother.
date. She waits on the court date. So Jeff,
Well, that time.
hello,
To our listeners, and are you hearing me?
yeah,
Hello? Yes, you hearing me?
yes,
Good afternoon to our listeners and viewers on both Roots and the Mekwitouch of Tavares YouTube channel. Listen to me. They are telling Mr. Rattigan that he has no grounds to file this lawsuit. Is it that we must tell the two political parties in Jamaica that they have no grounds to come to the diaspora to beg money for their political campaign? Is it that when we leave Jamaica, we're no longer Jamaican citizens? Is it that members within the diaspora, when they leave Jamaica, they're no longer Jamaican citizens?
That's a different level, you know.
That's the question. That is the question we need to ask the minister and the prime minister. If the minister go ahead now and say that she has filed it, it is proven that she has never filed a thing. So she can't go ahead now and say that she can't go ahead now and have a press conference and say, oh, I filed. No. And if she filed, she needs to tell the Jamaican people who gave her the money to put up to run for Secretary General of the Commonwealth. And if she can't do that, then something is wrong somewhere. And I know Wilfred Rattigan will not stop until something comes out of this. So there's an old Jamaican saying, fire their must tail and think a cool breeze.
All
all
right.
right. See you, man. That's all.
In closing, she must do what Shaggy did. In closing, that's all. Nothing further.
Oh my God, we are out of time. We're out of time. Sir, thanks again. Sir, and thanks to Sir Rattigan also for coming on and going in details, in explaining his rebuttal to all that was said. And I'm telling you, a lot of questions still there to be answered. And as Dudley said, Dudley was saying, guess what? Have a press conference, lay everything on the table, present the argument so we can know. But no, as I said, she's just still waiting on the courts to make the ruling. All right, so when they go to court, afterwards she'll probably come out and say, then probably have a press conference even after and say whether she vindicated or not. Say, well, XYZ. No, so go. Yeah. All right, this has been our Haphazard News this afternoon. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Wow. Thank you all so much, persons who are on our YouTube, Facebook, Zeno, Radio 96.1 FM on the dial. Thank you so much for joining us. Tomorrow, join us again between the 1 and 1:30. All right.